This is Josiah Plays Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Alright, we're here in the shooting range, and I can't seem to actually do any more shooting, which makes me unhappy. But what I like is the fact there's an ebook right here that I'm about to read. In Terra Firma. Task Force 29, the secret fight against global terrorism. It can't be that fucking secret if you're writing about it in a weekend editorial. How secret is it, really? Weekend Editorial, Part 2. Counterterrorism traditionally consists of two areas, pre- and post-incident. With its unique constitution, TF-29 is empowered to handle both areas, removing a step that would otherwise slow the process. Also, why is it TF-29? Why is that guy by Task Force 29? Are there 28 other task forces that took the names first? Or did they just randomly grab the number 29 because they thought it sounded cool? Just wanted to know. These are the things I want to know. On paper, the agency is said to function as a two-way agreement with other worldwide agencies, allowing a conduit of collaborative intel and action. If effective, such an ability to sidestep red tape would give TF-29 a remarkably swift response to global terrorist activity. In practice, it remains to be seen if this unprecedented relationship can survive. Not all are happy with this future of counterterrorism. In the event of a terrorist act, agents may enter member countries or states without standard protocol and create a temporary Bureau of Operations under the jurisdiction of its own accord. While TF-29's behavior remains subject to national laws, some have expressed concerns over alleged loopholes. Regardless, the clandestine agency was given a green light in good grace by a world desperate for answers. I don't know that it sounds like the best idea. I mean, it seems like it's going to lead to problems having this agency that basically doesn't answer to anyone. Oh, Adam. Wait, I thought I had my new vest on. I thought I switched to my new vest. That didn't look like the new vest. Maybe the cutscene doesn't reflect it. Okay, what's happening now? We're frozen on a black screen. Or a mostly black screen. It's not loading. Well, maybe it is loading, but I mean, it's not showing a loading screen. It's not doing anything. Why? Why isn't it doing anything? Is my game locked up? Can you still hear me on stream? Say something if you can still hear me. I'm a little bit concerned right now. This isn't working out. You can hear me. It's just sitting here on this. I think it locked up. I think it might have locked up because the screen's not even completely black. It's just the fade to black from that last scene, and you can still see a little bit of the little shapes from the last scene that was just fading out. So this is very unusual. Hitting escape does nothing, hitting spacebar does nothing, hitting enter does nothing. I think I might have to relaunch the game here. I think I might have to. I'm going to hit Alt F4 and see what happens. Alt F4 does nothing. Alt F4 does nothing. Windows key does nothing. Control Alt Delete does nothing. No, it does. Control Alt Delete worked. Oh, Mankind Divided has stopped working. Alright, goodbye, Mankind Divided. Goodbye. Alright, let me stop recording. Or tangent. This is Josiah Plays Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So, been having some problems here. Trying to exit the shooting range always crashes my system. I've tried it 4 times now. And it always crashes my game. So, I'm gonna have to... I've had to reload my save from before I went in there. And I can't go in there. If I go in there, I can't get back out without crashing the game, so I can't go in there. So let's just move on and do other stuff. You believe the irrational belief that for any good action we deserve a reward? Yeah, of course that makes sense. The irony is that the more we seek to improve our individual lots in life, the more we as a whole and usually as an individual suffer. Yeah.
Hey, Adam.
Thanks. Keep digging.
What's up, Aria? Let's talk.
Hey, Adam, hang on a sec. Filling out supply request forms for McCready and his boys is tedious as hell, but I don't want to give him another reason to say no.
Say no to what?
Are you kidding me? Right now, you're the only active augmented agent we have. I'm hoping to change that, been asking him every week practically, but so far, permission denied.
Really? He give you a reason?
Says my stress levels are too high. Told me I should sign up for meditation classes and drag Chang in with me so he'd chill out and stop changing security codes all the time. It sucks because I really wanted to find out who those crashers in Dubai were.
Yeah, I want to know who those crashers in Dubai were as well. Those crazy assassins with gold masks. I want to know who those guys were very badly. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just obvious. Literally, it's obvious. Everyone understands that. That if everyone just cooperated and looked out for everyone, the world would be a wonderful place. But just because we understand that to be true doesn't mean that people will actually act that way. We have to change human nature so that people will actually act that way. How do we do that? Beyond coming up with a drug that will make everyone comply and then forcing everyone to take that drug. Let's see.
I still can't believe Miller gave the gold mask case to McCready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You were there too. You're probably as pissed about those guys getting the drop on the team in Dubai as McCready is. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. Agent Singh might have been killed.
I saved
It
him.
could have been
It took me
worse.
several
That's why I
tries.
want to find these guys. Maybe I'll talk to McCready, see if I can help.
Good
Oh,
luck
McCready
with
loves
that.
me.
He chewed me out for asking if I could help with the case. I should have kept his new key card. I don't want him stinking up my range anyway.
Yeah, McCready's a dick. So what's up with Chang?
After the bombing, when Chang changed all the locks and codes, was he under orders? Was there a credible threat to our location?
Maybe, but I don't think so. You know how he gets. Still, he wasn't the only one overreacting this time. A lot of people have been here for over 36 hours, and the state police have not exactly been cooperative.
I can imagine.
It took several hours before we got the security footage from the train station and surrounding streets. It's like they don't trust Interpol. It's weird. I can almost understand Chang's paranoia.
Well, Chang doesn't trust anyone, especially anyone in law enforcement.
Well, if you thought he was high-strung before, the attack only made him more manic. He's making connections no one else sees, and some that may not be there.
Explosions tend to damage things like sensitive electronic equipment.
Right? Try telling him that.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to this Chang fellow. He sounds interesting. Eidos, you believe we must improve communication to minimize the risk for imposition. Organelles, aren't they like sub-organs within our organs? Is that what organelles are? Alright, so what's this about stress levels?
You were saying your stress levels were affecting your chances of becoming a field agent. Why is that?
I have a rare resistance to neuropazine. I need more than the average person, especially in stressful situations. They say I'd be too expensive, so it's not just discrimination. That would be easier to deal with. It's a combination of things.
Well, that combination of things is pretty bad in Prague, and getting worse.
I know, but Interpol was the only agency who would give me a chance, and this is where I was assigned. I have no problem with that. I'll take whatever they throw at me.
Good.
It took me months of rehabilitation getting used to the new arm, learning how to shoot again, learning how to tie my own boots. But I did it, and I'm better than I was before. I want to help and I can. My place is out there in the field where I can make a difference. You know that. And if you can do it, so can I.
Well, it's not the same.
Don't give up, Aria. Semper Fi.
Hoorah.
I mean, in fairness, Aria, if you can do it, so can I is not really true in this case, because I was genetically altered as a child and have perfect DNA that allows me to use tons and tons of amazing augmentations without ever needing neuropazine. You, on the other hand, have apparently bad DNA that forces you to use extra neuropazine. It's not your fault. But you can't go on the if Adam can do it, so can I thing, because we're literally genetically different in a huge and extremely important way in this particular context. So no, you can't do it just because I can do it, unfortunately. That doesn't mean you're not a hell of a trooper, but you can't do what I can do. You just can't. Aria really reminds you of Dagna and Scout Harding from the Dragon Age series. Dagna sounds familiar. I don't know who Scout Harding is. Oh, right. Organelles within cells. Yeah, now I remember. Like the Golgi apparatus or mitochondria. Yeah, they're basically organs within a cell that serve different functions within the cell. Yeah.
Well, I better let you get back to work.
Yeah, sure. Talk to you later.
Okay. Well, Aria seems nice.
Hey, Adam. What's up?
Nothing, I just wanted to say hi. Bye.
Well, I better let you get back to work.
Also, you don't...
Yeah, sure.
Just
Talk to you
don't
later.
go check things out back there in your armory, because I have a feeling you're going to get in trouble for this, and I feel bad, but I kind of stole everything from the armory.
Hey, Adam.
Oops. Hey, Aria. Alright, so let's go back upstairs now. Some organelles, specifically mitochondria and implants chloroplasts, are believed to have once been independent organisms. Really? Now that's interesting. I'd never heard about that before.
I'd rather not say
When you say are believed to be, do you mean that's just a theory that somebody came up with and the other scientists are going, oh, that sounds like it could be true? Or like a lot of research has been done and scientific consensus is that that is actually the case? What is that? What do you mean by are believed to be? Cybercrime. Oh, here's Peter Chang's office. I thought Chang's office was down there in IT. He's not just IT guy. He is the cybercrime guy. Okay, so Chang's... Oh, is that him? Chang's a bigger deal than I thought. So I need to go to the NSN to plant the Whisper chip, and I need to go see the director, I think. He's been wanting to see me. So we'll go to those places last, after we go in here and... It's a theory in the same way evolution is a theory.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Most likely eyewitnesses or smashed
Jensen, we need to talk.
They've been everywhere for the past
And we will talk. Chang, we will talk, but first, I need to loot your office. I'm sure you understand. Operational exigencies, sir. Operational exigencies. You would understand if you were a field agent like me. Ooh. I've got to take your credits, because I'm fighting terrorism. If you don't give me your credits, the terrorists win. And you don't want that, do you, Chang? Do you?
Jensen, we need to talk. The problem with the collective is that they've branded themselves as online
smart
Robin
move.
Hoods.
They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.
Well, yeah, they kind of are online Robin Hoods.
There are problems with the system, but that doesn't give anyone the right to commit informational terrorism.
Okay, I don't think what they're doing is terrorism. What the collective is doing is
This is so weird.
exposing corruption and exposing crime and yeah, they're stealing information that they legally don't have access to and exposing it. That's not terrorism, though.
One of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Janus relies on public
Sure, we want to call it terrorism because they're doing illegal shit that we don't like because we're the government, but that doesn't make them
Jensen,
terrorists.
we need to talk.
In my opinion.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours. Still nothing.
All right, let's talk to Chang.
Jensen, we need to talk.
Could you calm down, Chang? I'm right here.
Consistent with the train station cameras.
I'm right here, buddy.
My God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him
No.
it's not safe enough here.
Calm down. We're fine.
We're fine, Chang.
Police station,
He said the same
train
thing as me.
station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha-Dovos just got hacked.
Our building's front company. Thought it was fake.
I wish it was fake. Miller's got me cleaning up IntelliCam footage from the attack to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are? Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured out that the company's a front? Maybe they know what's really down here.
We have a lot of enemies. The people who bombed the train station. You don't think they'd love to know where we are? You need to help me figure out who's looking into us and make them stop.
Okay, I'll do that. But let's get more information first. The good old encapsulation hoax. What, Anonymous? Everyone knows mitochondria were put into the cells by Jesus. Yes! Jesus! Genetic engineer. Alright, so what's the point that you were going with this, the idea of organelles having previously been other organisms? What's the upshot of that? Alright, I need more information.
I'm gonna need more information about this snoop of yours.
I don't know for sure that our cover's been blown, but if it has, we need to know before our enemies have a chance to do something about it.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are...
TF-29 likes its privacy.
Sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions.
Well, Chang, you need to learn to relax, buddy. Adam Jensen is on the case. Alright, Said, I'll see you when you get back. Welcome back, Anonymous. I don't know if you've been gone this whole time or you were just being very quiet, but welcome back. What can you tell me about this Praha-Dovos?
What can you tell me about our front company?
Praha-Dovos was designed to be forgettable. The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, Director burrows into some hole, poof, no Christmas party.
Alpha Protocol. Alright. You got an MO on this hacker? You were gone, kind of busy today? That's cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I want to know about this hacker.
You got an MO in this hacker?
At first I thought it might be the Collective.
But you're not convinced.
Not Janus's style to leave crumbs this big. But whoever it is, they risk exposing us. If the Collective ever found out where we operate... My God, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
I don't understand why they're so afraid of Janus or the Collective. The Collective is against the Illuminati. They're not against us. I don't understand why they think Janus is the big threat. Do they not understand that Janus are basically the Collective are basically good guys as well? Or at least neutral guys. They're not, I don't know. It's weird to me that the Collective are being painted by TF-29 as being such villains and such a threat, when I, Jensen, having dealt with them, know that they're actually working against the true evil forces that are the big problem. I don't know. Don't you work for Illuminati? Well, I don't think so. I don't think at this point the task force is controlled by the Illuminati. But I think according to Saito later on in the Deus Ex original game, the organization that this becomes eventually becomes controlled by the Illuminati or whatever. But I think at this point, because in the one cutscene we had in the beginning of this game, when it showed the Illuminati guys at the table, they mentioned something about the task force being a problem for them. That, like, they painted us in an antagonistic light. So I think at this point the task force is not under the thumb of the Illuminati. Welcome back, Saito.
I need you to find out as much as you can about our Snoop. Make sure we're not in danger.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Alright, you have any leads?
I traced our hacker Snoop to an unrented apartment. Top floor, 33 Hull Avenue. Just down the street. This guy walks by us every single day. Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling?
No, I don't
Correct me
feel
if
that.
I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
Past week.
Okay. Find the source of the hack. Another side quest. Peter Chang, our cybercrime specialist, says some local hackers been digging into Praha Dovos, the task force's front company. If someone's out there trying to compromise TF-29, it could undermine my own attempts to get answers. Find the source of the hack. Someone's taken an interest in TF-29's front company. Chang was able to trace the hack to a top-floor apartment at 33 Halavni. Cool, I like getting extra missions. I like that a lot. I thought those were weight plates for a second. Like, why does he have a stack of fucking plates? But then I realized they're not. They're like bundles of cable or something. You have anything more to say, Peter?
Shouldn't you be out there tracking down whoever tried to hack into us?
Yeah, I was asking that, Saito, yes.
You said some hacker's been getting too close to the task force. What is it you need me to do exactly?
I gave you the address of where the hack's been coming from. I need you to find out who's doing this. Figure out what they know and what they want. Remember, if the location of the task force is exposed, none of us are safe.
Alright, sounds legit.
As soon as I know something, so will you.
Not literally, though, because I'll need time to actually communicate it to you.
No, that's not consistent with the train station camera.
What's up,
A
Agent?
word of advice: stay off the Aug Rights web pages this
Heard
week.
it. Heard it. Crafting parts. I love crafting parts. Photocopier. Look at this computer. Hello. It's hacking time.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me.
Selena Carter. Oh, Selena was mentioned in one of the emails we read. She obviously works here with Chang.
Smart move. They don't want to be caught in a dragnet.
Consider this: at the time, there was nothing but unicellular organisms, no other form of life. Yet the bacteria that became chloroplasts and mitochondria, despite being far more distinct from the cells they would become part of than people are from one another, literally became inseparable. Okay. I hear you. I get it. But what's the what does that have to do with anything? What do we have here? A data store. I can't get to the red.
DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies.
They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.
Can I get to this data store in any reasonable way?
We're advising people to stay at home.
Maybe.
So someone needs to be the example.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Most likely eyewitnesses were smashed in the
Access granted.
Got it, and I got the extra 115 credits as well. Alright, drop-off locker. From Ryan Baker, we haven't seen his name before, to Selena Carter. Simon intercepted a local communication talking about a storage locker being used as a drop-off.
relies on public perception.
I looked into it. Turns out it's right near us. We've been watching it for a few days and already clocked several Diwali members going in and out. We should take a look in there when we have a clear idea on when we have a good window of opportunity. We don't want to spook them off. The current code they're using is 6354, but I'll update you if it changes. Thanks. Alright, that sounds useful. That sounds like free loot that we can go get in the under the auspices of investigating terrorist conspirators or whatever. Okay, before that moment, such symbiosis would seem as impossible as it would for humans to function in concert with one another on a more robust level. More so, really. Yeah, but I mean, compared to human beings as a whole, those were still very, very simple organisms compared to a whole human being. So maybe it is impossible for organisms as complex as humans are. I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe not. You could be right. I mean, it could be a sign of hope, I guess.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Jake Carter to Selena Carter. Alright, so this is like his cousin, I guess. Hi, Selena. I wanted to share the good news with you. I'm licensed again. I owe it all to my rep, who negotiated the deal. I won't bore you with the official alphanumeric designations, but basically all I had to do was change the designation of my legs, and now I'm back on the duty roster. We shipped to Afghanistan in 10 days. So, it looks like your favorite cousin is back to fighting the good fight. Take care, Jake. Licensed again. So is he, like, working for, like, a private military contractor or something, like Bell Tower? After he changed the designation of his legs?
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
The more efficient chemosynthetic metabolisms afforded by these organelles permitted another development, multicellular organisms. You're not suggesting we crawl inside one another, just suggesting more effective communication and empathic responses. Empathetic.
We know state police aren't above profile.
I see what you're saying, Saito. I see what you're saying, and I can actually buy that. Especially now that we have the information age and the ability to communicate with each other all over the world and from person to person to a much greater degree than we ever did before. Maybe that will facilitate some sort of creation of a larger, like, organizational pseudo-organism that where human beings will come into greater cooperation because of that or something. I don't know.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing percentages.
Urgent NSN diagnostic from Peter Chang to Selena Carter. Peter Chang to Selena Carter. Selena, I need you to check the NSN lava wall is still at 100%. It's had to resist a lot of attempted hacks recently. But I'm still told by some that I'm just being paranoid when I keep pushing for security procedures in this place. Like I don't have enough shit to fix. You'll need to use a new code to get in. I changed the keypad to 7734. Give me a shout when you've completed the diagnostic. Alright, that seems like could be useful information.
They've been everywhere for the past week.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies.
Maybe it's a
Nothing.
cliche that in order to catch a criminal you have to think like one, but it also happens to be true. We need a better plan to catch Janus, because we've been after him for 2 years and we haven't gotten anywhere.
Well, I got bad news for you. I'm working with Janus. So, yeah.
The problem with the collective is that they've branded themselves as online Robin Hoods.
But they are.
There are problems with the system. I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet informational terrorism.
It's not like I support what the collective is doing.
I do.
We have to laugh at some of the crazy things people do, or else we'd go crazy ourselves.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Oh, I can hack another computer here.
You know who's been suspiciously quiet the last couple of days? The collective.
Alright, let's hack this one. Benjamin Scott. Can I get... There's no goodies in here.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Anomaly detected. Trace
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
Access granted.
Search warrant from Debbie Connolly. We've seen her name before. To Benjamin Scott. Ben, I finally managed to get that search warrant you wanted for the internet cafe. Don't tell anybody your suspicions that Janus contacts a local operative there. They won't accept that because in their minds that makes it a local issue and therefore theirs jurisdiction, not ours. I got the warrant by pretending the suspected contact is connected to ARC and knew about the bombing. I'll let you know when the warrant arrives. Don't do anything until then.
It's a smart move. They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.
From Chang to Benjamin Scott. Stay on Janus. Ben, I know Miller wants you on the bombing, but please, under the radar, continue keeping tabs on Janus. We have a lot of people on Ruzica, and we need to get this guy before he gets us. Thanks, Chang. Chang seems obsessed with the collective and with Janus. To the detriment of his actual orders. I think Chang's a little bit too worked up about these hackers. Another thing you believe holds us back, both in our capacity for empathy and organizationally, is our own mortality. Thus my research focus in cellular... Well, okay, that makes sense. Our own mortality would certainly be a big part of the motivation for human beings to behave badly. Shooting Competition 3. Aria Argento. Attention everyone. The third quarterly TF-29 shooting competition is almost upon us. Remember, our firing range is always open, featuring any firearm in the TF-29 arsenal, with unlimited ammunition. Have you practiced enough? Aria. Except when you enter the firing range, you can never leave, because the game will always lock up and crash every time you try. You can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. The firing range. It's like a Venus flytrap. We've talked to this guy.
It's not like I support what the collective is doing.
Preemptive action would be great.
Ooh, pocket secretary.
These guys might as...
Vincent Black. Hey, Vincent Black's my homie. I love this guy, even though I haven't met him. Every time I see his name, I'm reminded of my buddy, Vincent Black from prison. My old celly. Angela Rizzo. Angie, I'd trust your hunches better than most people's evidence. There's no way, if the Diwali number 2 owns it, that the storage locker is 100% clean. Oh, he's talking about the Diwali number 2 is Otar. Is that his name? Otar?
Well, be ghosts.
They've been everywhere for the past week.
Otar? That doesn't sound right all of a sudden. It's... What is his damn name? Otar. It is Otar. Otar Botkavelli. Yeah, so our homie Otar... Well, he's not really our homie so much, but... Alright, there's no way if the Diwali number 2 owns it that the storage locker is 100% clean. I'm in the middle of something I can't break away from right now. Check it out yourself quietly. Tell me what you find. VB, Vincent Black. Reference from Angela Rizzo to Vince Black. Suspicions. Vince, you know the courtyard just down the street from us? I go there sometimes to grab a snack after work, and there's one storage locker there that always felt a little suspicious. Well, today I learned it belongs to Otar Botkavelli. That's what I was just saying. He is the number 2. We can't go in there officially without a warrant, and my hunch obviously isn't enough to get us one. But I did crack the code to the door, 3874. How the fuck did she... Well, okay. One of us could go in unofficially just to see what's inside. What do you think, boss? Angie. Oh, so Angela Rizzo works for Vincent Black. Okay. I'm very curious about this Vincent Black character. They said he's one of the lone wolves, like Adam Jensen is. And he's undercover, we know that much, and they're worried about him because he hasn't reported in a while or whatever. Maybe he went rogue. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's just a cool guy that we're going to meet later. Or maybe he's an asshole that we're going to meet later. We don't know. You're not talking immortalism, but I do believe we're on the cusp of extending human longevity dramatically. Yeah, but Saito, who will that even be available to? Let's say we came up with technology right now that would extend human longevity for a ridiculously long time. How many actual humans would get to benefit from that? Because I'm thinking it would just be the rich and elite and not anyone else. And that could make the problems even worse.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around.
Ooh, oh, we got a guy with a name here. Hello. We got a guy with a name. Oh, look at this.
Is it not a probable target?
Oh, wow. Look at this. It's a board with all the different organizations and stuff, and I can actually do something with each one of them. I can inquire. Oh, this is cool. All right, let's talk to Brian Rourke first.
I just wish someone would nut up and take the blame.
Hey, Agent Jensen. Nice work in Dubai. But still, you know what I want to know is who those ogged up guys in the gold masks were.
I want to know that too.
All the case files, and as soon as I know anything, it'll be up on the board.
I love this guy.
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh's spent a long time getting in with the gin. Be ashamed to have it blow his cover. Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline.
Yeah, I agree.
Agent Singh spent a long
I've already
time
heard
getting
that.
in with the gin. Be ashamed to have it blow his cover.
So basically, inquire. I can ask Rourke about each one of these things, and he'll give me information because he's like the keeper of the information board. Oh, this is cool. All right, Juggernaut Collective. Is that their logo? Is that like a J for Janus? Recruit former government operatives. Are reading this right now. You know what's hilarious is that's true. because I, Jensen, am basically at the moment working as an agent of the Juggernaut Collective, and I'm reading this right now at this very moment. That's funny.
We're advising people to stay at home, so someone needs to be the example.
Ah, what to say about the Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members were running operations out of Montreal in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman Bank Station? Bell Tower?
I was there.
The Collective is a group of hacker activists, or hacktivists. Oh my god, I hate that word. Dedicated to the cause of freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the Collective, but there is one name that echoes over the darknet, and that name that echoes even louder than Hex, and you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me, that name is Janus. And some say Janus runs everything, while others think there is no Janus.
Nice. Okay, I like this Rourke guy, and I like this board of cool information about everything. Alright, tell me more about the new Sons of Freedom. Drumpf Manifesto.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking.
Alright, so I've never heard of the new Sons of Freedom, so we're about to find out about an entirely new faction.
Nothing. The new Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective.
Ah, which is why they're over here by the Juggernaut Collective. So they might be good guys too, actually, if they're fighting the Illuminati. The NSF. Okay. Tell me about Janus. What happened? Eli. Oh, Eli was the original hacker that posted the message that started the Juggernaut Collective, and they want to know what happened to him because now Janus is the one in charge. Is Janus Eli, or did Janus take over from Eli? That's the question.
Janus. I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the most dangerous hacking group in the world, attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The corporate world is terrified of Janus.
Yeah, see, everything you tell me about Janus and the Collective makes them sound like good guys to me. Why are we tripping? If they're only attacking corrupt things and they're only exposing corruption and lies and conspiracies and the Illuminati, then why are we not, like, working with them? Why are we not like, yay, pro-Juggernaut Collective, let's all get their t-shirts and shit? Oh, that's right, because we're the government, and government can't fucking ever stand anybody doing anything cool unless they're doing it. Fuck the government. Why do I work for the government, man? Alright, tell me about... Oh, now this is the Church of the Machine God. Oh, I'm really curious about these, actually. I know who the builder is, because I've been in his apartment. I've seen him passed out. He's that guy. And the church, and they told us... But they kept mentioning the mother. And apparently the mother excommunicated the builder from the church. So we're about to find out some real shit about this. So talk to me about forced augments. They're forcing people to get augments to be part of the church. Singularity cult. Alright, tell me about the church.
Here we go. The Church of the Machine God, and to some, the Church of the Machine, without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God. This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s. There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses and become one with the Machine God through a ritual they call Ascension.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
And that reminds me of some,
Negative.
that reminds me of some William Gibson shit right there. Okay, so they've existed since the 70s, so they existed way before there was AUGs or anything. Interesting. Or even computers.
I'd love to get a look at the barn site myself.
Mother.
No dice, not our show.
Alright, I want to know who Mother is, because I'm very curious. My only theory is it Eliza? But I doubt it's Eliza. But it could be.
The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman, and they call her Mother. That's creepy, right? I think that's really
Everything about cults is creepy. That's why they're cults.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility. I'm just not sure what they would plug that machine into.
I don't even know where to start with theorizing percentages.
And we've met the builder already. Well, he was passed out. Alright, Samizdat is like the independent activist news rag, basically.
No, that's not consistent.
Distribution channel, editor, all question. Revolutionary or just talk? Soviet connection. Uh-oh, those Soviets.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any mention of them.
They seem cool. Samizdat seems cool.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
For crying out loud.
You just quoted a Danzig song, Sido. You just quoted a Danzig song. Mother, tell your children not to come my way. Yeah, nice. Okay, so, see, I get some of your references, Sido, just not all of them. Okay. Ark. And there's Talos Rucker, the head of Ark. And then there's Melnick connection. Military background. Radical element. Burke. Mechanic.
Preemptive action would be great if you knew where.
Media slander. Vilma Caldera survivor. What's that? North American connection to ARC. Follow the money. Palisade connection. I don't know what this is. I don't know what Palisade is. I don't know what Vilma Caldera is. I don't know who Melnick is. I don't know what Burke is. Let's see if he can shed any light on this stuff for us.
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge.
Well, is there any evidence that ARC has been behind? Because everybody's saying, oh, ARC, they were behind this bombing in the train station. But there's no evidence to suggest that, right? It's just like, we suspect them because they're for AUG rights, and everybody seems to hate AUGs and be anti-AUG, and any AUG group is automatically bad, so let's just call them terrorists for the lulz? Or is there real evidence that they were really behind any attacks? That's the question.
You've heard of these guys. ARC,
okay,
or the Augmented
wait.
Rights Coalition. They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least,
no,
is trying
switch
to
to
provide equal
Rucker.
rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge.
I'll be the judge. Okay, they're not terrorists. Boom, it's that easy. Dr. Rucker, tell me about him.
Dr. Talos Rucker, former limb clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utelek complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
Yeah, it seems bad. The Restoration Act seems really, really bad. Okay, we'll come back to the Gold Mask Mercenaries. Actually, let's see what he knows about them. Real gold, nanotech, cloak, or camo? Well, we know that they had Icarus Shift, or whatever it's called. Icarus Blink, Icarus Dash.
They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.
And
listening to this police chatter?
Did they have cloaking? They must have had cloaking, because they all just came out of nowhere.
Someone would nut up and take the blame.
You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and AUGs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
Yeah, they seem pretty scary and dangerous.
No, it's the right call.
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
I've never played the Infamous games or watched anyone play them. Well, that's not true. I did watch a little bit of somebody streaming one of the Infamous games once, but only a little bit. So I don't know anything about them, is what I'm saying. The Gold Mask Mercs are from Cirque du Soleil. The Cirque du Soleil has become a paramilitary organization. Alright, so... then we've got a whole web of nonsense here.
I just wish someone would nut up and
Oh,
take
the
blame.
Jinn. And then Shepard, who's deceased. Wasim Alam. Salar Alam. And Aaron Singh, who's our guy.
No, that's not consistent.
You see Handler in Oman. Alright, let's go back. Let's go to the Jinn here. If you get a PS4, I should play Infamous Second Son. Really? Is it pretty good or what? The Jinn.
I would have thought you'd had your fill of these guys since Dubai, Jensen. The Jinn, a group of smugglers led by twin brothers Salar and Wasim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely in Muscat, Oman. The brothers Alam have been in operation since 2020 and have greatly expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries, ex-military, nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding region. They deal in drugs, weapons, medical implants, AUGs, and they occasionally throw in some human trafficking.
Oh, human trafficking is bad. See, I have no sympathy for people that engage in human trafficking. I can have sympathy for people who blow shit up and kill people. I know that sounds fucked up, but I can. I can have sympathy for them, depending on their cause or whatever. But human trafficking, no. I never have any sympathy for human traffickers, no matter what the fuck their ideology or cause is. There's simply no excuse for that shit.
What I hear?
The main character is what you imagine I would be like with superpowers? Okay, that's an interesting thought. If you get PS4, you should get a good rake to tend to your crops. What? What do you mean, Anonymous? Alright, so that's the Jinn.
I'd love to get a look at the
Tell me about Salar Alam and Wasim Alam. What's it say here? Meeting with Kali, the Hindu goddess?
I've run
No,
DNA
probably
checks for all
not.
the alphabet agencies.
Spotted in Sadra.
This guy is the face of the Jinn and a charismatic force of nature. They call him the Bull of the North and the Heart of the Jinn. Real name Salar, works in conjunction with his cold and calculating brother, Wasim, who saved his life during the Aug incident. He is proudly augmented and parades his Augs around wherever and whenever he likes. The hatred of Augs from groups around the world has only emboldened him and his organization.
Is it not a probable target?
Okay, cool. This game, now that I've come here, especially... Ooh, Vincent Black's office.
Listening to this police
This
pattern?
game is really reminding me a lot of Alpha Protocol in a lot of ways. It feels a lot more like Alpha Protocol than the Human Revolution does. In fact, this game feels like is a mix of Human Revolution and Alpha Protocol. In other words, fucking awesome. Because I loved both of those games, and this game feels like a blend of the two or something.
What I hear, the explosives were
Because you'll
designed to
become
get
a dirty
maximized
peasant.
terror.
Ah, I see what you're saying, Anonymous.
You think one
Dirty
of them will pop up on
peasants.
some list somewhere.
Alright, tell me about Wasim then.
Ah, Wasim Alam, the head of the Jinn, former limb clinic doctor and surgeon before he turned to more profitable enterprises. He brings the same cold and calculated approach he brought to saving lives to running his business with his brother, Salar.
See, I find that so interesting. What's the deal with the Jinn? Why would a former limb clinic doctor become a terrorist?
I don't even
What's
know
it
where to
say?
start with the
Early childhood trauma, sister? I mean, what's up with that? This isn't just some garden variety angry dude that became a terrorist. He was a limb clinic doctor. What happened that caused him
I'd
to
love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but
become
no
a
dice,
terrorist?
no show.
Alright, let's talk about Shepard.
Our arms dealer Shepard, aka John Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operative. And as is typical for those ex-Bell Tower employees, he's been selling off old Bell Tower tech and weapons. But we don't need to worry about him anymore. He was killed by those gold mask guys in Dubai.
Or was he? I've seen a lot of people that were allegedly killed. Maybe his death was faked.
Comedy of errors.
Maybe it was. Alpha Protocol was indeed a Deus Ex ripoff. No, it wasn't. Alpha Protocol is nothing like Deus Ex.
How's security over there?
Alpha Protocol is based on spy
They're
movies.
saying it was faulty wiring.
It's your main character is supposed to be a blend of James Bond, Jason Bourne, and Jack Bauer. It's that kind of game. It's not like Deus Ex. Could be that he's willing to do horrible things in order to fund what he believes. A really common trope, honestly. Well, a really common thing in real life. I mean, it's pretty understandable, really.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that are really passionate about something and really desperate, and would probably be willing to stoop to some pretty illegal and or unethical or immoral shit if they had the opportunity to. These guys get made because of opportunity combined with the ambition and the passion and the desperation.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
A Denton wannabe? No.
I highly doubt whoever did this bothered to stick around.
I was just bashing him for human trafficking.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
What I hear?
Well, hold on. Understandable and excusable are not the same thing. I still think human trafficking is completely inexcusable. That doesn't mean it's not understandable why someone would get involved in doing that kind of stuff because of, you know, whatever reasons.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger.
It's still inexcusable. In my opinion, anyone who's into human trafficking should just be killed. Not imprisoned, killed. Not tried and executed, fucking killed in combat. They shouldn't even be arrested. Oh, you're human traffickers? Shoot on sight. That's my opinion. But that doesn't mean... Now, here's where it gets complicated with me. I'll say something like that and you would think I'm writing the person off. That doesn't mean that you're no longer a human being, or that you shouldn't be understood, or that we can't have empathy for your concerns and your problems and your motives. It doesn't mean that we say that you were a pure monster with no understandable motives. It just means that because of the choices you've made, in my opinion, you are done. You have given up your right to live on this earth because of the choices you've made. Because what you're doing is so terrible and so against humanity that we just cannot have people doing that. Therefore, we should kill the people that do it.
Just wish someone would nut up and take the blame.
Alright, tell me about Singh, the guy that I saved by reloading a whole bunch of times.
Ah, Agent Singh, great poker player. I still owe him 100 credits. So I hope his incursion with the Jinn lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
They've been everywhere for the past week.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Alright, so Singh. What about Purity First? Now, these are the guys that we dealt with in Human Revolution. In the very first mission, when you go to Milwaukee Junction and take those guys out that have broken into the Seraph plant there, those guys are Purity First. So they're like a radical anti-AUG group that's actually willing to do some violent shit. Are they still active? Were they behind the Dresden attack? I don't know about the Dresden attack.
Purity First is an anti-AUG group dedicated to keeping humans human. All pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for multiple acts of breaking and entering, vandalism, and theft. On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of human purity. They've been quiet since the incident.
Yes, I've fought lots of those guys. Okay. Alright, in our next episode, we will go into this crazy web that is the Diwali crime family and find out from our buddy Brian Rourke here what he has to say about these things. And then we'll explore the rest of the second upper level of our headquarters here. Pretty cool. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.